Back on the record, the time is now 2:21 p.m.
And we are at Exhibit 10.
Next one is 11.
Are those the same?
No. No, they're not.
What about this one?
Yeah, this one.
Okay. Nick, are you with me?
I'm with you, yes.
The next document I'm going to introduce is written in English. It has the date in the upper right corner of January 25, 2015.
የሚቀጥለው ማስረጃ ጃንዋሪ 25 2015 የሚል ሲሆን
And I'm going to hand the witness with that exhibit an Amharic version of that same letter.
እና ለሳቸው የእንግሊዝኛውና የአማርኛውን ትርጉም አንድ ላይ አያይዤ ነው የምሰጣቸው።
I'd like to mark these as exhibits 11 and 12, please.
እነዚህን ማስረጃ 11 እና 12 ብዬ አስገባቸዋለሁ።
ወይስ እንላንድ ገላ አስረዳሽ?
Can I explain something to you?
የሰጠሁት አራት አይደሉም እንደዚህ?
I gave you 4 documents.
ማለት ጉዳዩ ሁለት ነው ግን አራት ማለት ነው። ይሄኛው የመጨረሻው ነው። ከሱ በፊት ነው የጻፍኩት አይደል? ማለት ለውይይቱ እንዲመች ብዬ ነው።
There's something that was written first
ያኛውን ያንሳል
that he would like you to start with.
I'll give you that opportunity. I want to introduce these first.
መጀመሪያ ይሄንን ለማስገባት ፈልጌ ነው እኔ ባልኩት ይሄድ።
Yep.
ማስረጃ 11 እና 12 ተብሎ ተጽፈዋል።
እሺ እሱ ይላል።
Okay.
Abuna Fanuel, please take a look at those two documents and tell me if you remember seeing them.
አቡነ ፋኑኤል እነዚህን ወረቀቶች ተመልከቱና ከዚህ በፊት አይቷቸው ከሆነ የሚያስታውሱ ከሆነ ይንገሩኝ። Yes.
And what is your understanding of the purpose of that letter?
የዚህ ደብዳቤ ምክንያት ምንድን ነበረ?
የዚህ ለዚህ ነው ቀደም የተናገርኩት። የዚህ ደብዳቤ ምክንያቱ ሌላ ደብዳቤ አለ ቤተክርስቲያኑ የጻፈው። ለዚህ ነው ለማስረዳት።
The purpose of this letter is related to another document that was written first.
All right. Could you describe that document, the earlier document?
መጀመሪያ የነበረውን ወረቀት እስኪ ምን እንደሆነ ይንገሩን። አዎ
ይሄ ነው እኮ እሱን ነበር ያልኩት እኮ መጀመሪያ ምን
That's what I was saying at first.
ያ የመጀመሪያው ቤተክርስቲያኑ
So to begin with the church,
ከኢትዮጵያ ቤተክርስቲያን ጋር መሆን እንፈልጋለን።
we wanted they stated that they wanted to be with the Ethiopian church in Ethiopia.
ኢትዮጵያ የሚገኘውን መንበረ ፓትርያርክ በስር መሆን እንፈልጋለን ማለት ነው።
We want to be under the leadership of the Ethiopian archbishop.
May I see that letter?
ደብዳቤ ያሳዩኛል?
Yes.
Could you tell us which one that is?
የትኛው እንደሆነ እስኪ ነው?
Dated in English.
I think this is the same one. There's a couple pages. This seems like, yeah. This one goes with this one, correct?
Madam Court Reporter?
13.
There are two pages.
13 and 14.
13 and 14.
ሁለት ገልጽ ነው 13 እና 14 ማስረጃ ብሎ ይገባል። One is a translation.
Off the record, what is the date of that? Nick, we're with a document now dated January 12 of 2015. It's a letter written in English to Abuna Fanuel, and there is an Amharic version of that same letter that's been made now Exhibit 14.
ሁለት ደብዳቤዎች ለአቡነ ፋኑኤል የተጻፉ ናቸው። በአማርኛም በእንግሊዝኛም ትርጉም ያላቸው ጃንዋሪ 12 2015
I didn't want to speak over the interpreter. Yes, the date is January 12 of 2015.
ቀኑ ጃንዋሪ 12 2015
All right. Is this the first time, to your knowledge, the church reached out to you with a request to join the Ethiopian Synod?
እሱ እስኪያውቁ ድረስ ይሄ የመጀመሪያ ጊዜ ነው ቤተክርስቲያኑ እናንተ ከኢትዮጵያ ቤተክርስቲያን ጋር መገናኘት ወይ ግንኙነቴን ከነሱ ስራ አደርጋለሁ ብሎ የተናገሩት የመጀመሪያው ይሄ ነው
መጀመሪያ የተገናኘነው በዚህ ደብዳቤ ነው
Yes, the first relationship started with this letter.
And did you, after receiving the letter, go to Nashville and pronounce any blessing at the church?
ይሄንን ደብዳቤ ካገኙ በኋላ እነሱን ቤተክርስቲያኑን ለመባረክ ወደ ቴነሲ ናሽቪል ቴነሲ ሄደው ነበር?
አልሄድኩት ይሄን ከጻፍኩ በኋላ ነው
No, I didn't go. I went after I wrote that letter.
Right.
በኢትዮጵያ ስር ሆነናል ብለው ሲያረጋግጡ ነው ሄድኩት
I went once they confirmed that they were under the Ethiopian church.
Tell me who within the Nashville church you dealt with directly.
ከናሽቪል ቤተክርስቲያን ውስጥ ከማን ጋር ነበር የርሶ ግንኙነት ወይ ንግግር ማለት ነው?
ከቦርዱ ሊቀመንበርና ከካህኑ ጋር
From the board I guess the board chairman
and the high priest
and the high priest.
Mr. Frey, what is here for the
Sorry.
You want me to read it? Okay.
No, as long as the court reporter got it. Do you know whether or not the church in Nashville has amended their bylaws since they sent that letter on January 12 of 2015?
እርሶ የሚያውቁት ነገር አለ በጃንዋሪ 12 2015 ይሄን ደብዳቤ ከላኩ በኋላ መመሪያቸውን መተዳደሪያቸውን መቀየራቸውን የሚያሳውቅ ለውጦች እንዳደረጉ መተዳደሪያቸው ላይ የሚያውቁት ነገር አለ?
ማሻሻያ በቅርቡ እንዳደረጉ ሰምቻለሁ
I heard that they made amendments recently.
ዋናው ግን ዞሮ ዞሮ ጥያቄው ይሄን ነው ይሄና እነሱ ሲነገናኝ
When we actually made communication through this, there was 3 questions that they asked.
ከኢትዮጵያ ጋር ለመሆን የምንችለው ለነዚህ ጥያቄዎች መልስ ካንተ ስናገኝ ነው
They said for us to be under the Ethiopian church, we need answers to these 3 questions.
Could you read those questions?
እነዚህ ሶስቱን ጥያቄዎች ሊያነቡልን ይችላሉ?
ያው በእንግሊዘኛውም አለ አማርኛውም አለ
There's the English and the Amharic.
Okay. Let me read the English.
የእንግሊዘኛውን ላንብበው.
And so that we are on the same page.
ሁላችሁ እንድንግባባ ብዬ ነው.
Question 1, what are the requirements and obligation for our church to join the Holy Synod? Number 1.
መጀመሪያ ምን መረጃዎችና ምን ማድረግ አለብን ከዚህ ቤተክርስቲያን ስር መሆን የሚል ጥያቄ አቅርበዋል.
Number 2, are there any guidelines or bylaws, both spiritual and administrative, for churches under the jurisdiction of the Holy Synod? Please send us if there is one.
ምን አይነት መመሪያዎች ወይ መተዳደሪያዎች አሉ የመንፈሳዊ ሆነ ደግሞ በአድሚኒስትሬሽን መልኩ ይሄ ቤተክርስቲያን መከተል ያለበት ከዚህ ከኢትዮጵያ ሰነድ ስር ለመሆን ማለት ነው ብለው ጠይቀዋል.
You agree with that? That's the second one.
ይሄ ጥያቄ እንደዛ መሆኑን
መልስ እኮ አለው
Okay, there's also answers.
አሁን እኮ ለዚህ ጥያቄ ለሶስቱ መልስ ሰጥቻለሁ.
I gave answers to all 3 questions.
እንዳነበበ ሁሉ መልሱ ማንበብ ይችላል.
All right. Could you read your answer to question 1? That may make more sense.
የተሻለ የሚሆነው እንግዲህ የመጀመሪያ ጥያቄ ለጠየቁት ጥያቄ እርሱ መልስ የሰጡትን መልስ ቢያነቡልን ነው.
እሺ እኔ ግን በቁጥር አላስቀመጥኩትም ጀነራል ተጠቅላላ ሐሳብ ነው ያስቀመጥኩት.
I put it in terms of general ideas. I didn't put them under different particular numbers when I gave a response.
ምናልባት እሱ እንዳለ ሙሉን እንግሊዘኛውን ያንብበውና ለሱ ደብዳቤ የሰጠሁት ሙሉ መልስ እንግሊዘኛውን አንብቢለት አይቀልም?
So basically saying you read the entire all of the questions, and it might be best, he says, to read the entire answer because he didn't break it down by numbers.
All right.
When he made his response.
All right.
Is that this?
Are these the same?
እሱ ልክ ነው.
Yes.
ጥያቄው መጀመሪያ ያነበዋል ማንበብ አለበት ከመልሱ በፊት.
All right.
First you should read the question before you see my answers.
All right. The question number 3 on Exhibit 14.
ለሶስተኛ ጥያቄ በዚህ መረጃ 14 ስር
If we join the diocese as requested by the congregation, other than lifting up the names of the patriarch and the archbishop of the diocese during the liturgy, service and to keep our connection with the Holy Synod, please send us an urgent answer assuring us that the diocese will not interfere with the management of our church property funds and administration that is governed by the bylaw of the church. As we made this request, we wish that your service be fruitful. You want to read that?
እንግዲህ ይሄ ሶስተኛ ጥያቄ ብሎ የተጠቀሰው ምንድነው? በቤተ ክርስቲያን ውስጥ
በአማርኛው ስለማቀው ግዴል ማለት
He says he understands it in Amharic. ግን ለማንኛውም ስማቸውን የምንድነው ፓትርያርኩንና የጳጳሱን ስም ከማንሳት ሌላ ይሄንን እነዚህ ነገር በአስተዳደራችንና በያን መተዳደሪያችንን ይነካሉ ወይ ብለው ጠይቀዋል. I understand they were asking if they will be somehow involved in their management and administration of their bylaws or their management.
Do you have this document before you?
ወረቀት ፍለፍቷለሁ. Yes, I wrote it.
Can you tell me what the word Kale Awadi means?
ቃለ አዋዲ ምን ማለት ነው?
Bylaws. Abuna Fanuel, did you ever suggest to the church that they adopt bylaws that are consistent with those used in Ethiopia?
እርሶ አቡነ ፋኑኤል ለዚህ ቤተክርስቲያን ከኢትዮጵያ መተዳደሪያዎች ጋር የተመሳሰሉት እንዲጠቀሙ ሐሳብ አቅርበው ነበር ወይ?
ማሻሻል እንዲደረግ እኔ እሱ ላይ አላቀረብኩም። የሰጠኋቸው መልስ
when I gave them a response
ባይሏችንን ትነክ ማለት እኛ ባይሎ ውስጥ ትገባለህ ይበን ኢንቮልቭ ታደርጋለህ ወይ ላሉት ጥያቄ
when they asked whether I would be interfering with their bylaws to answer that question
የኔ መልስ
my answer was
የኢትዮጵያ ቤተክርስቲያን የምትተዳደርበት የራሷ ቃለ አዋዲ ማለት ባይሎ አላት.
Ethiopian church has its own
አገሯ ላይ
in Ethiopia has its own bylaws was my response.
ለውጭ አገሩ የሚሆን ህግ ግን አላዘጋጀችም.
But they don't have any bylaws or laws for other for churches outside of
ስለዚህ
because of this
የናንተ ህግ
your bylaws
የቤተክርስቲያኑን መብትና ቀኖናዋን የሚያከብርላችሁ ከሆነ
so if the bylaws that you have in place actually respect the bylaws and rules of the church you can go ahead and use them.
ያው እሱ እንደዛ ይላል እኮ
that was what I wrote back.
I would like to make this exhibits 15 and 16 please.
ይሄንን ማስረጃ 15 እና 16 ብዬ ማስገባት ፈልጋለሁ.
Larry, me up if you would. Exhibits 15 and 16, are these the letters dated what?
They are the letters dated January 12, 2015 and the Amharic version of that same letter.
And this is Abuna's response letter, is that correct?
That is correct.
የሳቸው መልስ ደብዳቤ ነው ብሎ ጠየቃው ልክ ነው አለው.
Now, there is one additional letter I want to show you.
ሌላ አንድ ተጨማሪ ደብዳቤ አለ. ተመልከቱት.
አለ አውቀዋለሁ.
Yes, I know it.
All right. And the date of this letter, Nick, is dated January 26, 2015.
የዚህ ደብዳቤ ቀን ጃንዋሪ 26 2015 ይላል.
And it appears to be a letter from Abuna Fanuel to the local church in Nashville.
እና ይሄ ደግሞ ከአቡነ ፋኑኤል ወደ ናሽቪል ያለው ቤተክርስቲያን የተጻፈ ደብዳቤ ነው. Yes.
እነሱ መልስ ስለሰጡኝ ነው.
Because they gave me a response, this is my letter to that.
All right. You recognize this letter as being from you to the church.
እርሱ የጻፉት ደብዳቤ መሆኑን ያውቁታል. Yes.
All right. I'm going to mark that as the next numbered exhibit.
ይሄንን ማስረጃ የሚቀጥለው ማስረጃ አደርገዋለሁ. ማስረጃ 17
That'll be number 17.
Yes.
17
And I'm going to read into the record in English first. Letter dated January 26, 2015, to the Debre Caranio Church. We have respectfully received a letter number DKM 0003 indicating that you have accepted the Holy Synod of Ethiopia and unite with the Mother Church. We applaud and admire the decisive action the Church took to integrate with the Mother Church. I express my heartfelt gratitude for the clergy and parishioners who made significant effort. Let me stop there and ask you this question.
እዚህ ጋር ላቁምና አንድ ጥያቄ ልጠይቅ
እሺ
Are you aware that there is a division within the church as to whether to belong to the Ethiopian Synod or not?
እርስዎ የሚያውቁት ነገር አለ እዚህ ቤተክርስቲያን ውስጥ ሁለት አይነት ሐሳብ ከኢትዮጵያ አስተዳደር ስር እንሁንና አንሁን የሚሉ እንዳሉት ያውቃሉ?
ደብዳቤ እኮ ነው የሚገልጽልኝ
It's the letter that
እነሱ ይሄን የጻፍኩት እኮ አሁን የኔን ስላነበበው ነው የነሱን ለምን አያየው መጀመሪያ
You should look at the letter they wrote me.
I have that letter.
እነሱ እኔ ይሄን ደብዳቤ ሰጠሁት መጀመሪያ የመጀመሪያው ደብዳቤ በአስተዳደራችን ተገባለህ ሆይ
The first letter they wrote was asking me to be part of their administration.
እኔ አልገባም ከኔ ጋር የሚኖራችሁ ግንኙነት በሃይማኖት ብቻ ነው
And the only relationship you're going to have with me is on a religious level. That's my
ብዬ መልስ
response.
ስለሰጠኋቸው
Because I gave them that response.
ይሄንን ህዝቡ ተለቀበለ አመነ
Because the Orthodox Church members believed this and accepted this.
ይሄ ከሆነ በኢትዮጵያ ስር መሆን እንፈልጋለን ብሎ
If this
ደብዳቤ
is the
ጻፉ
case, we want to be under the Ethiopian Church, and then they wrote the
ስለዚህ
letter.
ስለጻፉ ይሄ እንኳን ደህና መጣችሁ ብዬ
So since they
ተቀበልኳቸው
actually decided to go under the Ethiopian Church, this was my way to welcome them, to
All right.
say welcome.
I understand. Back to my question. Do you understand that there are a number of people in the church, though, who do not want to join the Ethiopians?
የቤተክርስቲያኑ አባሎች የሆኑ ሰዎች ከኢትዮጵያስ አመራር ስርና ከሱ ቤተክርስቲያን ስር አንሆንም የሚሉ እንዳሉ ያውቃሉ?
99% በኢትዮጵያ ስር መሆን ይፈልገ ነው
99% wanted to be under.
What about the 1% who do not?
አንድ
ምን ጊዜም
1%
ቢሆን
ያሉት
ከ12 ሐዋርያት አንዱ እኮ ይሁዳ ነበር
It's just in any case, out of the 12 disciples, one was, Judas. So it's the same thing.
I guess that dissenting person would be Judas. Is that right?
Yes. That's what he said, Judas.
How do you understand the local church resolves such differences? How should they, as your understanding, resolve such differences?
በሱ አስተሳሰብ እንግዲህ እንዲህ አይነት ችግሮች ቢኖሩበት ጊዜ እንዴት አድርገው ነበር ችግሩን መፍታት የነበረባቸው?
ችግሩ እነሱ እንግዲህ ይሄ በመሰረቱ እኔን የሚመለከት አይደለም እነሱ ተወያይተው አምነውበት ያደረጉት ጉዳይ ነው
This is something that they discussed and came to a conclusion and decided on before they came to me.
እኔ ማየው ከቤተ ክርስቲያኑ አስተዳደር ህጋዊ የመጣውን ደብዳቤ ነው
What I see is that once I get a letter from the actual administration of the church, that's what I respond to.
All right.
The legality of the paper.
Are you aware whether there was a vote of the General Assembly or not?
ምርጫ መኖሩን የሚያውቁት ነገር አለ በቤተ ክርስቲያኑ መሰረት the church administration የቤተ ክርስቲያኑ አስተዳደር ምርጫ ማድረጉን ያውቃሉ?
አውቃለሁ
Yes, I
ነገሮኛል
know, they told me.
Okay.
ምርጫ አድርገዋል ባይሏቸውን አሻሽለዋል
They made an election, they changed their bylaws, I know this.
All right. Excuse me. You do have this one already. This translated version, right?
Do I? I mean,
Which one?
do I?
The translation is not there.
Okay. I want to hand you the translation.
Yeah.
Make sure we get this in the record as number 18.
Okay, hold on.
መረጃ ተብሎ ገብቷል የእንግሊዘኛው
version of the 26th January 2015 letter as Exhibit 18. Is that right?
That's correct.
I'm so sorry. The original. Okay. So the English version is Exhibit 17.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or is it
No,
18?
17 is Amharic and 18 is English.
I'm sorry, Nick. 18 is the English version.
Thank you.
Abuna Fanuel, have you been provided with a copy of the revised or modified church bylaws?
አሁን አቡነ ፋኑኤል የተሻሻሉት የቤተ ክርስቲያኑ መመሪያዎችን ተሰጥቶታል አይተውታል
ባይሎ አሻሽለዋል ልከውልኛል ግን ጊዜ አግኝቼ አላየሁትም ብዙ ስለሆነ
they sent me the amended bylaws but I didn't get a chance to actually take a look at it because it's a lot
When a local church affiliates with the Ethiopian Synod, does the church property and building fall under the jurisdiction or control of that synod?
አንድ ቤተክርስቲያን በኢትዮጵያ ሰነድ ስር ገባለው ሲል የዛ ቤተክርስቲያን ንብረት እና ያለው ንብረት ሁሉ በኢትዮጵያ ሰነድ ስር ይገባል ወይ?
ደብዳቤ እኮ ይናገራል
The letter states
አይመለከተንም
it's not
ደብዳቤ እኮ ግልጽ ነው ሀብቱም ንብረቱም የራሱ የፓሪሹ የህዝቡ ነው
The letter is clear on this. It's anything, any property or any assets that they have stays within their parish. It's not ours. Or the members, not ours. Not the churches.
And so no one's consent would be needed to sell this property, no one from the Archbishop or from the Synod.
ማንም ከሰነዱ ወይ ከጳጳሱ ስር ፍቃድ መጠየቅ የለባቸውም አይደለም ንብረቱን ለመሸጥ
ሲገዙም ማይጠይቁን ሲሸጡም ማይጠይቁን
They don't ask our permission when they buy and they don't ask our permission when they sell.
Okay. I'm going to show you a photograph of someone, and Dick, I'm not going to make this